Virgil, I talked to the other trainer, Ronnie Shields, and we both know Ronnie Shields is a renowned trainer. He said there's some things in Bika that he's been working on with him that he hadn't seen Bika have before. Can a fighter adapt to a new style, a new trainer in one fight and expect to have it all work?
I think in some respects that he can, particularly if it's working. If it's the new trait, the new style, or the new techniques are implemented in a fight and they're not working, I would say 100% of the time that fighter will revert back to who he is because Bika, from what I gather, is an instinctive fighter. And that doesn't mean he doesn't have any scientific aspects, but more than anything, he's an instinctive fighter. So I believe Ronnie Shields can bring some things to the table for him to implement. It just depends on once he tries these tactics, will they work or will they backfire on him? Will they be countered or will they fall short and he gets disgusted with them in fights? We've seen it quite a bit.
Andre's fought a number of different styles, even with a bad knee, and still pulled out the victory. Now with a completely 100% healthy knee, Andre's going to be some trouble for these guys.
Well, you know, to be exact, I expected to see it in this fight. I've seen it in the gym, and usually from what I see in the gym, I see it in the fight. So, you know, I'm pleased to have his lateral movement back. I'm pleased to see him planting on his punches again, and I'm not bashful at all to say that when he fought Miranda, Mikkel Kessler, and Alan Green, that he was a one-legged fighter. That was why I brought him in close, so he didn't have to use too much lateral movement and didn't have to compromise his quickness in terms of attack. So we, without even teaching him anything, we've been able to go back to some of the things that we naturally have done and naturally do. So it's good at this time that all that is showed back up.
Last thing here, a fighter who can work off of his instincts and adapt to whatever situation is in the ring at that time. Doesn't have to rely on just my power, just my speed. That's what it seems that you have in Andre Ward right now.
That was given to him at an early age, that vision, and he embraced that vision, and he practiced that vision, and you know, right now he exemplifies that vision. So, you know, that's a good thing to know, that you have a charge that when something is going on in a fight that you have to make the necessary adjustments, that he's capable of doing it, whether he needs to go southpaw for a while, whether he needs to go inside for a while, whether he needs to turn his opponent, attack his opponent. He can do it all. So, you know, he's a very, very versatile fighter. And I think because of that versatility, he hasn't gotten to his full development yet. I think he'd have been fully developed if we'd have concentrated on just on his strengths, like most fighters do. If I got a good left hook, I'm not going to waste my time moving around. I'm going to hit you with this hook. So it takes a fighter of his attributes to a little longer to develop. So, you know, I would say he's about 70% there, but he's not what you would say great in one department, but he's very good in all departments. And so when you add it all up, I think on a scale, he can surpass most guys.
70% WBA Super Middleweight Champ. It can only get better from here.
We expect it to be better. The bar is set real high. It's not even fun. It's no sense in even going to the gym. It's no sense in even practicing unless you can set the bar high. We have very, very tough, rough training camps in the respect that he and I are always at each other, but we understand that we have to be, because I'm calling for him to be who I believe he can be. And sometimes when they start cutting weight, and sometimes when that camp drags on, they don't necessarily want to hear it. But, you know, we've literally argued while doing pad work without breaking that pad work, and at the end of that session, we have a thorough understanding. We just know. We don't have to say anything. We fall right back into where we need to fall back in, and that's the beauty and the great thing about it. I don't have to measure my words. I'm not afraid to say, well, hey, you know, maybe you might get somebody. I don't have that issue. I don't have a contract with him. I don't have anything with him, you know. He was my godson. He's been with me since he's 9 years old, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And that's why I expect him to continue to progress.